Now it's hard to get an objective overview of what's going on inside your workplace. You have so many rooms, so many desks and chairs, people walking in and out. Today's workplace has a lot of tangible elements. But we mustn't forget that it's not just about great furniture or bricks and bytes. No, it's about the people inside. It's the people inside who make a difference. Knowing what actually is happening within your workplace is a necessity to make the right decisions to improve your workplace. Now, workplace data provides that insights, right? It supports an objective discussion, it creates possibilities for a more productive and engaging workplace, and it gets a healthier and satisfied office worker. Now, time utilization studies have been around since the industrial era, and we still see real estate managers saving on cost by leveraging an average occupancy of 45 to 55%. But implementing flexible working to achieve such savings hasn't proven to always be a success. Yes, of course, we want an efficient use of office space, but more important, we want an effective workplace to facilitate productivity, to facilitate creativity, a sense of belonging and well-being. It's so much more common not to just measure occupancy and utilization, but measure activities and their relation to productivity and satisfaction. Now, you need to be a true radiologist to measure actual behavior. Asking people just doesn't cut it anymore. So we have found some high-tech ways to collect this type of data and combine it with other data to create world-class, scientifically supported decision-making dashboard. So yes, it has changed a lot over the years. Workplace is no longer just a facility's responsibility. Now it's become a business tool. It supports HR policy and is the main driver of growth and development for both your company and employee. Now the data we collect is being used by decision makers to improve their workplaces. No more gut feelings or educated guesses, no, true decision-making power through objective workplace metrics. Now our convincing dashboards support everyday decisions and actions to change fit-outs or indicate behavior to optimize your workflow. Now, sometimes people feel as if their desks are being taken away, and judging by some of the communication skills we see around, I cannot blame them too. Now you can imagine the intrusion felt when observers are walking past your desk, jotting down your type of activity on their smartphone. Now, the acceptance of such surveys is all in the way we communicate. Now you have to share your intentions. Even if you're conducting workplace surveys for cost purposes, let the employees know what they can expect. Tell them what the data is being used for and help them understand the data and the value it brings to them in understanding their individual recipes for an optimal work experience. Now, only then they will appreciate the effort, the budget, the attention spent to improve the workplace. So next to our workplace maturity model, there are 4 pillars which have different sets of data that can be compared. So the first pillar is the capacity of a workplace. It's just the amount of chairs, amount of meeting rooms and desks that we actually have at hand. Now it gives you an insight into what it is that you're providing to your employees. Now the second pillar is the functional needs. Now this is derived from scorecards, organizational charts, or HR plans. It's just about which processes, systems, and activities are being done. Now these 2 pillars combine they represent the effective side of the workplace. Now the third and the fourth pillar are all about effectiveness. Now the third is about preferences and behavior. What people think they need, what people want to use in their offices. And the fourth pillar, is about what works best for each individual. Now this last pillar measures the personal characteristics and combines that with what the workplace is rated for. So can you perform this activity at this chosen workplace? Now if these pillars differ from each other, For instance, the functional needs, data collected in the second pillar, asks for more collaborative space than we actually have at hand, collected in the first pillar, then we need to create these types of workplaces. But it can also mean that there are employees who have a different workplace preference than their job, their functional needs requires. Now, my personal favorite is rating your workplace in relation to your personal characteristic. I believe that it's the most interesting part because looking at what makes you tick, what it is that you need in your workplace, and facilitating and supporting that specific need by creating an atmosphere and an environment that is not only created to cater one individual, but to facilitate the group as a whole, to benefit the whole organization. Definitely. This is exactly why it's so important to really understand these workplace metrics. Again, it's not just about occupancy or utilization. It's not squeezing in more people in less space. No, you would hate that too, right? Now, people need space to perform at their best, and we need to find that optimum, that balance, creating the best workplace possible at a price that validates the outcomes and resonates with well-being and productivity. Now, we all need to be more conscious of our behavior and the effect our surroundings have on our behavior. Now, by measuring your activities at the workplace and sharing that with team members, you can create a greater understanding of what makes us tick, of what pushes us, of what drives us. It is this understanding that lays a strong foundation for the decision makers to create and improve an awesome workplace. Now, over the years, we've seen a lot of trends in terms of occupancy and utilization, and specifically in relation to personal characteristics. We see, for instance, that extroverted people with managerial positions use collaboration spaces, much more than people who are analytic and have a supporting role in their organization. They tend to use concentration booths more often and wear headphones to perform at their best. iBeacon technology excites me. You could use it to locate where people are, count the amount of social interactions between people. For instance, you can count the amount of time someone from sales is sitting in a meeting with someone from marketing. Now, the most interesting part of that is that we can actually see which department communicates with each other and where this communication takes place. Now, this creates insights to support interventions to optimize these social interactions. It can actually help you make information flow more fluently through the organization. The workplace of the future is a much more fluent workplace. So it can be a desk that is easily converted or even automatically converted to a collaborative space or a meeting space. But also it gives you the privacy and the comfort to do highly concentrated individual work. So fluency is probably the keyword I would use for the workplace of the future. Now, I wish that the inconvenience of commuting or working from home could be taken away. So you could stay at home and still have that same social interaction with your colleagues needed to perform at your best. Now, we've been trying, and there's a lot of tools supporting this virtual way of working, but still there's no comparison with meeting face to face. So I honestly believe that we get the most out of social interaction. Meeting face to face, being able to hear, to feel, to even smell your colleagues, it gives you a much better bonding. And by doing something together, working as a team creates a much more productive organization. So You would need to create a clubhouse to engage your employees, to create an image and a brand of your organization that people feel attracted to. That will help you have a satisfying work life and thus have a great work-life balance.